Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today we have a lot to talk about. I am going to tell you what I've kind of got in the back of my mind so that we are prepared if we should test positive on our cruise to the Mediterranean and everything I'm thinking about to be able to get home again. I really am trying to take from the experience of other people and be really well prepared in case something like that happens. And then we've also got some onboard updates and things that I just want to share with you, helpful information. So first of all, I would like to welcome all of our Let's Go family members and all of you who are new. We're really glad to be here with all of you, so thank you. If there's anyone who hasn't subscribed yet, will you please consider subscribing to our channel? It doesn't obligate you to anything. It doesn't cost anything. I think you're going to love being part of our Let's Go family here. We have the most amazing family members, and we share so much information here, pretty much everything that you could need to know about going on a cruise now or think about going on a cruise, and so it's really a fun place to be. So first of all, let me tell you what my plan is and kind of just everything I'm thinking about to be able to be prepared to come home. And so if we should test positive. So first of all, if we test positive on the ship, based on what I am hearing from other people, I am just going to make sure that before I get off the ship, I have a copy, both a paper copy and an emailed copy of the positive COVID test. You're going to have that to be able to do what you need to do to get back into the United States. And I should say, we are from the United States. That's where we have to go back. The CDC guidelines still require that if you are entering the United States on a flight, you have to have proof of a negative COVID test within 1 day. And if you don't have proof of a negative COVID test, you've got to have proof of a positive test as well as a certificate of recovery. That's going to be required. And if you test positive, you can test positive for a really long time to come. And so you've got to be able to have a copy of your negative COVID test. So like I said, I'm not going to get off the ship without that. And if they keep saying, oh, we'll get it to you, we'll get it to you, our Princess Rep will get it to you, I'm going to be like, no, I am not going to get off the ship without that. I am just going to be really firm about that. I'm going to be kind, but I'm going to be firm. And I'm not budging without that, because we have found from several people, port monkeys had to be on the phone for like hours to be able to get that. It took a lot of effort, and I've heard from a lot of other people that it took monumental effort to be able to get that, and that's ridiculous. And so I'm not going to get off the ship without that. The next thing that I'm going to be aware of is we have an amazing Let's Go family member and I had already been looking for places to get a certificate of recovery if we had to. There are several online places that you can get a certificate of recovery, but thank heaven our Let's Go family member Kit shared her experience. And so here's what she said. She said, this is a true story. She was on a transatlantic cruise last month, so that would have been in April she was there. They disembarked in Barcelona and immediately took a train to Madrid overnight before catching their flight the next day. And then when they took their test for their flight, they tested positive in Madrid. They were vaccinated, boosted, and asymptomatic, but it didn't matter. So luckily, their hotel could accommodate them until they could get rebooked for another flight later, a week later. So they took a week. It says the hotel left their isolation to their discretion, meaning they could come and go as they pleased. And I'll talk to you about a little bit more about that in a minute. And so they arranged for new tests the day before the new flight. And yep, those were positive too. But in case this happened, and she's like, I had nothing but time, they researched where online you could get something called the Certificate of Recovery. And so they found a place called Mobi Doctor, M-O-B-I Doctor, and I will put the link below where you can pay the fee. And I looked, it looks like it starts at about £24, but I didn't click all the way through because I didn't need to request that yet. So they were able to go online, have a virtual visit, and get that certificate of recovery that they needed. And she said the issue is that the isolation period is subjective. Some places say 7 days, some places say 10 days, some places say 2 weeks. No two sources give the same answer. So she said with some pleading at the airport, they were able to make their rebooked flight 1 week later. And she says much the worse for wear. And I love she puts the moral of her story is don't put all of your eggs in the negative test result basket. And happy sailing to everyone. So thank you, Kit. Really thank you. And so I know about that Moby Doctor website. There's another one in the UK that I've heard people talk about, but I don't think it matters where you are as long as you can get your certificate. And so I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. The next thing is I think she said a week. We heard from Port Monkeys it was 10 days. And so I'll try to find out wherever we are what we can find out at that time. But I would probably start trying in 7 days and see if we could get home. The other thing is we're going to take several of those Abbott Laboratories tests with us that you do with a healthcare professional on the video call with you. I'm just going to take several. I've ordered 6 and then I ordered 6 more when I saw what happened with Port Monkeys. And so I'll let you know when I narrow down how many I'm going to take, but I think I'll probably I know that we're going to use 1 each to get on the ship in Rome. And so that will take 2 of them. So I think I'll probably take 3 or 4 extra each just in case, because I don't want my only problem to be that I don't have a test that could be verified to be able to get on a flight. So I'm going to take extras of those. And then also, our Let's Go family member Hetty said that on one of hers, the liquid vial that you have to use to do the test was dry. And I know on one of ours, it didn't have a QR code. So you've got to have some extras just in case there's test malfunction as well. And I do have, I've got the Princess phone numbers in my phone for Princess Ezair, for Princess, I have actually the Princess travel agent phone number if I need, because I am a travel agent. If anybody didn't know, you can ask me and I'm happy to help you with any of your travel needs. But I do have that phone number. If all else fails, I'm going to call that, or if anybody contacts me and needs something, I can call while I'm on my trip. And then also make sure that your phone plan has international calling, texting, and data. And I talked the other day about the one with T-Mobile that our amazing Let's Go family member Alam let us know about. We have Verizon, that's what we already have, and we have an international phone plan. And it gives you so much data for free, but you can also roam with data too. You'll have to pay a little bit more for it, but if that's what I've got to do a COVID test, I'll do it. But just make sure. And you know what? This is what I think about that too. We used to be able to just say, okay, I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks. Don't contact me unless it's like some huge monumental emergency. And you didn't really have to worry so much about what phone plan you had. But you know what? I think those days are gone, because if you end up getting quarantined on the ship, or you end up getting quarantined somewhere else, and you've got to make phone calls to be able to handle everything you need to do to be able to get home again, you really need to have a phone plan so that you don't have an extraordinarily high phone bill. So pay attention to what you've got. If you have to, just call them. Like I said, with Verizon, there's an international plan that works really well with us that's available. And then also another thing that we have is here we have Vonage phones, VONAGE. That's just what we use for our house phone, because I need to have a house line as well because of my work, but it is through the internet, and there's an app that goes with it. And so like if we are somewhere and you've got Wi-Fi, like you can call somebody on that phone. And I do it all the time. Like if we're in Europe and we've got Wi-Fi and I want to call one of the kids or something, or else they need something, they email me or text me and say, can you call me? And I just use that, and it doesn't cost anything because it's using Wi-Fi. And you can do the same thing with like your FaceTime or your FaceTime audio, but the Vonage doesn't take as much data as those do. As much Wi-Fi strength. That's what I meant. Like you can have weaker Wi-Fi and it still works just fine, and it is clear as anything. It's like super clear. And so just wanted to tell you about that. Then let's see. The last thing that I wanted to let you know is if you test positive when you are testing on your own, like for us to be able to fly home from Barcelona, we're just going to do one of those Abbott laboratory tests in our hotel room with the internet. And if we happen to test positive then you know that you've got to wait at least a week to be home. And here's what I was wanting to put out there is a lot of people are letting me know that when they test positive at that point, they just sightsee, do everything for a week, and then when enough time has gone by that they can get that certificate of recovery, then they do that to fly back to the United States. And when I initially thought about that, I was like, wow, I don't know if is that okay? But when you think about it, you only have to be tested to fly back to the United States. You don't have to be tested to get off the ship in a country. You don't have to be tested to fly into these countries as long as you're vaccinated, which we are. Like, those requirements are gone. And so I think it's okay, because I think it's just fine. You just have to have that negative COVID test to get back in to the U.S. And so I'll just have to see if we have that problem and what our situation is and where we might go or what we might do. But you'll all see, because you'll see our vlogs. But I'm just putting that out there. So let me know what you think about that. So that is really kind of what I've been thinking about, and all of the things. If you all think of other things that we should think about, let us know. And I'll let you know. Okay, so we also have a Let's Go family member, Daniel. And Daniel, I hope you're listening. You mentioned that you had sent me some emails and not heard back, and I checked my email and I don't have anything from you. So if any of you ever email me and you never hear back, double check the email that you sent it to, because maybe there's a typo or something, because I might be slow, but I get back to people. And I'm only slow because there are so many emails. Does anybody know if, as you fly into Vancouver, if they're still doing random testing? I would appreciate if anyone can comment on that. I know that that was a requirement back when Canada was requiring you to have a COVID test to fly into the country. They would randomly test people coming in. Our Let's Go family member is wondering if they're doing that. He says seen some things that makes him think that they are still doing it. But from what I had read, it seemed like they were taking that away when they took away the requirement for a test to fly into Canada if you were vaccinated. So if anybody is flying into Vancouver, which is where they're going, could you comment on that? Because that would really help them out. So there's that. And then also, let's see. Alrighty. And then the next thing that I wanted to make sure everybody knows is our amazing Let's Go family member, Nancy. She said that she has been hearing, because she has clients, she's a travel advisor as well. She said that for her clients, she has heard that some of them have had their Princess Ezair flights canceled. So when they go into their app on their phone and look, the flights are no longer there with the airlines. And so you have to log into your cruise personalizer on Princess, and I'm doing a video all about that for you tomorrow, so watch for that. But you log in and then you go under flights and you can see the information. And I know that one Let's Go family member said that she checked and it said that they are gone, but that they are working on rescheduling them. So just take a look and make sure that your flights are there. I immediately checked and luckily ours are still there. But that is just another good reminder of like why it's really important to, once you have your Princess Ezair flights, always link them to your airline account. So like we use Delta, and so in our Delta app we can see the flights. And the other really nice thing about that is it makes it so you can move your seats around, put your seats wherever you want, and to go with whatever ticket you paid for. It also makes it so that you can get upgrades. Like we got upgraded on some of our flights on this upcoming trip because of our what our status is with Delta. It just opens up all these other options. So make sure that you do that. Plus it makes it really easy so that then you can see what's going on with your flights and you can board with your app. You know how it makes the little QR code and you just let them scan it. Then you don't even have to worry because it always picks up your TSA pre-check and you don't have to worry about it. So that's just a thing. But thank you, Nancy, for telling us. So everyone, take a look at your flights. If they're gone, make sure they show up again soon. Let's see. So we've got that. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is we've got a Let's Go family member, Mary, and she said that with cruises to Alaska starting, she's wondering if we have any updates from anybody with cruises that were excursions that were supposed to go up into the Yukon. We have heard that some of those are canceled, but Mary, put under the comments which one of your excursions that is. And I wanted to let you all know that if your excursion gets canceled and you don't see another excursion that you want to go on, and this applies to like all the ports, like in most places, but specifically as we think of Alaska, when you get off in Juneau and in Skagway and Ketchikan, there are always tour guides right there waiting to offer you their tour, and they are used to getting people back in time for a sail away. That I don't think you have to worry about. In most places. Some places would probably make me a little bit more nervous, but anyway, in Alaska I would feel fine about it. And so if you don't see anything, like get off the ship like right as soon as you can and see if somebody is offering a tour that sounds really good to you, and then go on it. But if anybody has any other information about more of our Yukon excursions being canceled, let us know. I haven't heard of, I have heard that the ones that are with cruise lines are being canceled into the Yukon. If anybody has any other information than that, let me know, because that will help everybody as they try to plan for Alaska. Let's see. Okay, we've got that. And alrighty, the last thing that I want to let you know about is we have a Let's Go family member who was asking about the Koningsdam with Holland America. And we've had a few replies. Her celebrity cruise that was supposed to go to Alaska got canceled, and so they scrambled and found one with Holland America. And so I just wanted to share for all of you out there who are maybe brand new here or are not reading the comments, what our lovely Let's Go family member Sharon said, who just got off of the Koningsdam to Alaska. She said that it's a beautiful ship. She said the staff all have smiling eyes over their masks and are amazing in everything that they get done, and that they are so ready to help anytime. She says there is a group called Unity performing. Don't miss any of their performances. They are a fabulously talented men's quartet. She said she could have listened to them to sing for hours. She says there is so much music on the ship, which is one of the reasons I want to get on Holland America. I hear that all of their music options are remarkable. She said the cabins are very quiet and relaxing. They love the food and the specialty restaurants. Theirs was an 18-day cruise with a little bit older of a demographic, but she says that there were lots of bars, places to get drinks and everything, but they didn't see anyone drunk. She says the dress is not your dress, like what you choose to wear during the day, is nothing to worry about. Clothes are not what you expect to see in a fashion magazine, which I really appreciate her saying. And I've noticed that when we go to Alaska, it always seems a little bit more casual as well, because of just where you're going, and that it's a little chillier, and just the whole vibe of where you're going. She said just be comfortable. Her favorite service on the ship was the laundry package, so that's handy. She bought it at the last minute. Had I known how great and fast they were, I would have packed much less clothing. One day turnaround for the laundry. She said room service is free 24 hours a day when you stick with their menu. She said there is a lot of walking involved on the ship, so just a heads up. They walked at least 2 miles a day on sea days, just getting from our room to food and entertainment. They missed the staff in the ship from the moment they disembarked. And so if you have any more questions, just feel free to ask, and you can do it in the comments, or you can look for her comment and put it right under there, but we'll make sure that she gets it if you need any more information. But it sounds like she had a marvelous cruise, and that the Koningsdam is just absolutely spectacular. So I really appreciate you all watching our videos. If you do have any questions, just tuck them in the comments below. If you appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? I will be talking to you all again really soon. God bless you. Love you all. Bye-bye.